And especially because she founded her own training company, so we really wanted to focus more on the training and development side of things.
And we said, okay, great. So we started doing inspirational sessions, of which today is the inaugural one, where you are, Scot, our guest speaker, about concept development. I had contact with all our guests who are coming to the event today, and they all said, oh my God, I think I can learn so much from this event, because the F&B managers or directors today may not have had that exposure previously in their career as what we may have had.
In 2024, 60% of bookings made in hotels was because of F&B. The day the business changed was when she realised that 80% of her customers weren't her customers. And she said we had to take a decision to piss off the 80%, to focus in on the 20, because we made better products, we got more loyalty, they spent more with us, and actually it was the best decision we ever made.
This is Hospitality Huddles, bringing you the best conversations in hotel food and beverage.
Manage, lead, coach, repeat.
Every time I think of hospitality, I think of friendship. Hospitality allows you to be you.
Welcome to a very special edition of Hospitality Huddles, and today we're on location for a panel event later on at the Great Northern Hotel here in King's Cross, and I'm with Desiree Dills and Roy Sommer from the Food and Beverage Managers Association in London. Guys, really excited because I've been asking you to do this for a long time.
I know.
And finally we're here.
We found the time. Yes.
I've managed to pin you down because we have an event to do. So Desiree, let's start with you. Take 60 seconds to just tell everyone a little bit about you, what you do, what the day job is, and we'll go into more about the F&B Association after.
So I'm Desiree Dills, born and bred Dutch, lived in London for 15 years, made my way in hospitality, my career in food and beverage, all the way up to GM level, most recently in Holland, and I founded my own training company 9 months ago called Hospitality Mastery, where I train mainly middle management people in hotels and high-end luxury establishments on soft skills. That's what I do.
It's really important.
Yes.
We're going to come to some of that about how the association helps as well.
Yes.
With some of those bits as well in a bit. Roy, over to you.
Well, quite similar to Desiree. I'm also Dutch. Been in London now, coming up to 18 years. Background food and beverage. In the Netherlands first, restaurant manager, Michelin star level, then food and beverage management. Came to London, food and beverage management up to hotel general management. And then I kind of had a slight change of career. And now I work for a distribution company, managing director for UK, Ireland and the Netherlands. But still very passionate about hospitality, and that's kind of where the F&B Managers Association comes in.
And still continues.
And still continues, yeah. So yeah, we're really working on that aspect still of hospitality to promote food and beverage in the UK and beyond, so to speak.
That's and our passion for it.
Exactly, 100%. And it's definitely something that we need to keep blooding in, because it's not easy being an F&B director today. So I think, take me back, was it 2013 when the association was still created? I was hotel manager at the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
I was part of the association when it first started. So do you want to...
You were indeed.
I was indeed,
yes.
Do you want to tell people what inspired you both to set it up? Because it's a huge undertaking, very important. What was the reason?
It was actually my first role as F&B director at W London. 6 months after it opened, I got drafted in. And that's when I thought, okay, it would be really nice to have a peer group to speak to. And I knew of a small group of F&B directors who would do this on a regular basis, but it wasn't a widespread thing. So I decided to organize an event, find out who all the 4- and 5-star F&B directors in London were. And Roy came to the first event, which I did in Wild Bar at the time, in a January, I think it was. So everybody was there, of course, January being the month for a network event. And the next day he called me and he said, hi, I'm Dutch as well. We met last night. Shall we do this together? Being Dutch and all that, quite forward. Okay, let's get it done. And that's what we did. Then we started getting people together, didn't we?
Yeah, it was, when you looked at from an association perspective, everybody kind of had something, or the chefs have something, the front of house had something, but there was not really something for F&B. And what we noticed is that yes, you know some people in the industry, but a lot of people didn't even know who the person in the hotel next to them was in the same position. So we really wanted to establish a network where people can share best practice, can share ideas, but also, you know, if you have a big event on and you're short of a couple of glasses, go to your neighbors and say, hello, Des, you know, I'm short of glass, can you help? You know,
Or a couple of bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
a couple of bottles or whatever.
Busy function.
And so that's kind of how it came about. And we started very small. You know, I think we started with 10, and then we kind
Our
of
first
grew.
event, at the Andes,
at the
Liverpool
Andes.
Street.
So it started really small, and then we kind of progressed and made it more formal. So we set up all the rules and regulations. We set up the bank account. We had meetings with the bank on what would be the best account to set up.
The founding committee.
Exactly, founding committee. At the time, we had some help from the Institute of, no, not the Institute of Hospitality.
What are they called?
The Wine Guild.
The Wine Guild, yes.
Yeah, because they wanted to get involved from an advisory perspective, which we then realized that didn't quite align in what we wanted to do.
Yeah, with our vision.
And also we also started looking at, okay, how can we make food and beverage a career of choice again? Instead of something people started rolling in because they don't really know what to do with their life. And especially in the UK, that's kind of what it is. Because if you look at hotel and F&B managers in London, how many are British? Because F&B has never really been a career choice. You maybe being an
much more in
exception,
Europe.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's true, though, isn't
but
it?
it is true. You know, if you look at F&B directors even now, you know, they are Spanish, German, Portuguese, Italian.
Continental Europe is so different in that respect.
Exactly. So that's what we started, and now we've been going 12 years. Obviously, COVID threw us back a little bit because a lot of people moved back to where they came from.
New members came along.
People were made redundant, so we needed a while to find out where everybody was again. Because email addresses, they get disconnected and what have you not. But now we're back stronger as ever.
Full strength.
Full strength. Yeah.
It's definitely taken a momentum shift. But what's the secret to the longevity? Because sometimes people start these things, and I think I know the answer, but people start these things, they fizzle out, or a COVID happens and it's harder to reset.
Keep it relevant, I think.
I think it's keep it relevant, but it's also having the passion for it. You know, it's across the 12 years we've had changes in the committee, we had changes in setup. We tried to mix things up a little bit, so maybe we should try to do it this way to kind of see if it gets a better traction. Desiree moved back to the Netherlands at some point, so she kind of dropped out of the committee, somebody else came in. He then moved to Bahrain, so Desiree came back in with a training company.
Now anyway.
So it's been important to at least have some constant factors, and in that case, it's for majority
to be us.
For majority of the time, it's been myself and Des, and when Des wasn't there, it was me and Antonio, and then to have Desiree come back again as co-founder has been amazing. Especially now she's got her own training company, so we can really hone in now further on the training and development
and add value in a different way. Than just a network event.
Yeah, exactly. But on those networking events, because I'm not sure I've been to many organisations that keep so many people coming back again and again every time, and it's not easy doing these events and getting sponsors. And why do you think people have come to the events so much and so regular?
We get them drunk. That's easy.
Well,
no,
that's it. Lots of booze, lots of food.
That's
what
the
we
answer.
normally sell, we now do ourselves.
I think when you look at finding the sponsors has never really been an issue. Because basically we give our sponsors a platform to 40, 50 F&B managers in one evening. Where normally they have to go to 40, 50 different hotels
and get rejected.
Try to get an appointment first, then go there, take the time,
and we don't promise them anything. We just give them the platform, say, okay, this is what you can achieve, or this is what you can do. We don't give contact details of our members, but we'll include them in the newsletter afterwards. So they have to reach also for the people who cannot attend. But after that, it's up to them. And it's for them to network with the people. It's not just attending one event, but come to the next one and then, hey, remember me? I'm John.
And they get access
Harry.
for a year.
So
our sponsorship is typically for 1 year, one calendar year, and during that year they can attend the network events. and it's up to them if they do that,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
follow up.
Yeah.
And we don't charge the earth. At the end of the day, we're a non-profit organization.
Yep.
So we feel our rates are fair. If we have to increase them to be able to do our events, because again, hotel venues, etc., they also need to be compensated, and the prices keep going up for that. So we have increased our prices where needed.
Yeah.
But
not,
most people still think it's good value.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
Plus, we try to look for kind of like more niche suppliers as well.
interesting,
Because having run-of-the-mill brands is not what hotels are looking for.
No.
So they're more niche, they're more exclusive.
try to follow trends a little
different.
bit on new smaller brands
Yes.
which come into the market, which try to give a platform to achieve something more.
And how important do you think the peer-to-peer thing is? Because I guess
Very.
when I'm going into hotels right now, it feels like there's a bit of that gap in the old school mentoring, arms around shoulders that helps like some of that development that probably we all had in our careers. So I guess that peer-to-peer thing is just crucial now, where they can feel safe to say what's not going well and what's going well, right?
Absolutely. I think what the association has brought for a lot of people is, besides having that sounding board of other people, and it can be people in the same organization, like some of the global change, they have F&B managers in different locations, but within the company itself, they don't necessarily organize anything for them to get together. So they come to our association.
Some of them do, not all of them.
Not all of them, but they'll say, it's I don't get to speak to you, so I come to the event, at least I see you, or at least we can, what do you think about that, or this new rule from whatever company it might be. So it's more open for discussion. And a lot of F&B managers have made really good friendships
because of that.
it. And
have found new jobs as well, to be fair, because everybody moves up at some point.
And they know when they're moving.
That's it,
Absolutely,
exactly. Yeah.
But it's amazing how, obviously I moved to the Middle East, came back, I was at the last couple of events, and it's amazing how many people from the original kind of group of people are still turning up as
even
well.
Though they have moved up in the world.
Just sticking around to kind of understand what's happening in the market.
And I think that's where the friendship part really comes in. That I think over the many years we've made such great connections with people, and people don't want to let go of that. And despite them now being general managers.
But at the end of the day, Roy, F&B people are the best people.
No, of course.
We love F&B
But
people.
their exposure as well down on F&B
100%.
directors is such value. It's so valuable, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if you come into the events, you come in with a purpose of networking and sharing value and all the rest.
And
so
open, and you come in open.
So it's maybe some people aren't getting it in their organisation. Maybe you have to go and find it. And I think one of the things that I've found since I set up Auden is that whole piece around how it's amazing how many times you ask for help or just want to chat with people who may be further along on the journey, on a different journey than what we know as F&B, like more kind of setting up your own business. It's amazing how many people are willing to share value for free by just getting on a call, 30 minutes, coming to an event and just being open,
mentoring is
being
very
curious.
important.
But it's also the people who've now progressed, also they have F&B managers, and we encourage them to bring them along, because it's nice having your own boss, but it's also good to make connections maybe with other people in the same position. So
and this year obviously a big focus on development and learning, and there's definitely a gap in hotels that I see and work with in terms of it. Just tell the audience a little bit more about that, and how, if people are watching this and thinking let's get involved with the association, it might appeal.
I think last year when Antonio said I'm moving to Bahrain,
he called me. You're coming back. It wasn't a question.
we did the last event where Antonio was present. He announced that he was moving to Bahrain, and a lot of people asked me the question, saying, so what are you going to do now? What's happening with the association? I said, said the association will continue. And then the next morning I woke up early, like 5:30, and I was in my bed, grabbed my laptop, and I wrote a plan. I was, this is how I see it for the next year. And once I'd done that, I called Desiree. I said, Desiree, now you're back in...
Who's always up early as well.
I said, now you're back in London. I said, this is what I want to do. So what do you think? So let's do it. I'm in. And
same enthusiasm as 12 years ago.
Exactly.
Come on, let's do it. Yeah.
And especially because she founded her own training company,
Yeah.
so we really wanted to focus more on the training and development side of things. I think before COVID, we'd done like inspirational sessions before, but then when COVID
And a mentoring program,
etc.
Yeah.
But then, across the years and because of different situations in the world, that kind of became a bit more complicated. And now we really want to push that again.
Yeah.
And now we're having a training expert like Desiree on board, of course.
Yeah.
That made it a lot easier.
So then we decided to do a questionnaire amongst our members. And asked them, okay, if we start doing inspirational sessions, A, are you interested? B, these are some proposed, I think we had 20 different subjects that we proposed to them. And they answered in great numbers. And we said, okay, great. So we start doing inspirational sessions, of which today is the inaugural one, where you are, Scot, our guest speaker, about concept development. I think it's very interesting. I had contact with all our guests who are coming to the event today. And they all said, oh my God, I think I can learn so much from this event, because the F&B managers or directors today may not have had that exposure previously in their career as what we may have had. And then I talk mainly pre-COVID times. So so they're very excited. So this is the first one. Second one is in March. So we do 1 month of an inspirational event. The next month is a network event. So in February we have a network event, and then in March the next inspirational session about AI in food and beverage, which should be quite interesting as well, with a very world-renowned speaker actually on AI, who's worked with big businesses, even the Googles of this world. So this should be quite nice insight. And then, of course, the next one is in May about retention and engagement of staff, which, of course, is still relevant today, even more so post-COVID. But and I think we're getting out of the really bad situation at the moment, but still, it has to remain a focus point.
Definitely.
At all times.
The AI is a really interesting one, because I think there's just so much opportunity for middle management to benefit from what AI can bring, and ChatGPT and all the rest of it. I think there's lots of opportunities, and even just putting in sales mix into ChatGPT and getting answers.
Exactly.
On its simplest form can make everyone's life easier.
But we had to do all the Excel sheets, you know, and
the dog, the workhorse, and all the rest. Exactly. So I mean, it kind of brings us on nicely, Roy, to the challenges that F&B guys are facing. And it was funny, when I sent these questions, I got it right back at me going, you can answer this question, but I'm not doing that. With a smiley, with emojis. Like, speaking to the members, listening to the F&B directors around London right now, what is some of the challenges, or what are the biggest challenges that they're facing today?
I think they're quite. I think staffing is a massive issue, especially since Brexit and COVID. Also during COVID, a lot of people went back to their home countries. Not a lot of them came back because for different reasons. Getting a talent pool in the UK from local people, British people, is near impossible, because, as we said earlier, they don't necessarily see hospitality as a career. And now companies will have to pay visa fees to get workers from abroad, which obviously there's additional cost. So you get them for a period of time because they're bound to a visa, which doesn't give the worker flexibility. But still, if they lose the passion or the willingness, then you're also kind of stuck, and you've got unmotivated people. And also, I think lack of creativity still in a lot of hotels. People don't seem to understand what food and beverage should be within a hotel, and how can you make it different, and how can you make a unique selling point for your business. People think, okay, if we give breakfast and we do a standard menu where people get fish and chips, they get a pizza, they get a burger, people will be happy.
And a club sandwich.
And a club sandwich.
Exactly. It's true.
And it's yes, you will cater to the 10% which is happy with that, but the 90% they will go somewhere else. And London has a lot to offer in that sense. But people, they want to keep the people in the hotel as much as possible, because that's where you make the money.
That's the trade part, isn't it? It's funny. It's funny you should say creativity, and it really. I mean, I guess it's perfect for today's conversation. But I'm doing a workshop on Thursday for a hotel group, and one of the things we're talking about there is about that exact thing. I watched a Diary of a CEO with the CEO of Dermatologica, and she did this thing around saying the day the business changed was when she realised that 80% of her customers weren't her customers. Yeah. And she said we had to take a decision to piss off the 80%, to focus in on the 20, because we made better products, we got more loyalty, they spent more with us, and actually it was the best decision we ever made. And I look at some of the hotel F&B right now that maybe COVID's had an impact in it, maybe cost, maybe talent, but it feels more functional and amenity driven than it does fun, bold, exciting kind of venues. And I think that's why some of the independents are starting
They do better than hotels.
For sure. It's
especially in London, where it's so fast moving, everything in terms of concepts, and also opening and closures of restaurants left, right and center. I think Asia is better at it. Also because they're more technology driven maybe than Europe. And we talked about the US before we got on this podcast. But for some reason, there's a lack of interest, or there's a lack of maybe they're concerned about the cost. People should always look at the return, not be scared about, yes, we have to make an initial investment, but it gives us X, Y, Z back in return. And it's not only about getting people in the door, but it's also the publicity you get around it. And that.
I think in London, if you look at 10, 15 years ago, what was happening in food and beverage, it was so exciting. People were really thinking outside the box and really making things happen, that we hadn't seen before. Always been a game changer, obviously, in the world, but I think at the moment it's a bit dull. It's dulled down. And that's such a pity, because you can make such great F&B in hotels that also is a standalone brand. So will also attract people from outside, and not just being your run-of-the-mill, all-day dining restaurant.
Well, I saw a stat from when I was in the States from the American Hotel Lodging Association, and it said in 2024, 60% of bookings made in hotels was because of F&B. Not necessarily the F&B in the hotel, but the booking around where they want to go to restaurants and bars. So if they like the look of King's Cross restaurants and bars, they'll book here or the Standard or where to be close. So my argument while we're doing that is think of the opportunity. 60% of people staying in your hotel want to eat in exciting F&B, and you're basically acting as a stopgap for them to go out. That's the opportunity. And I think that's what people have to realise is, in our days, we looked at other hotels as going, who are the benchmarks that we should be? Now, if it's not the independents down the road, we're missing a trick, because the other hotels now are equally as difficult, challenging as maybe yours in as well. So I think that's a massive one, isn't it?
I think what's happening more now is that, especially in the London restaurant scene, I think they take a concept from somewhere else, let's say Dubai or Asia. It works there. Okay, let's bring it here, which is not very creative. It's just let's try and copy it.
Cookie cutter, exactly.
And then see if it works here, and then. Desiree being a prime example, it's popular for 3 months, and we're just waiting for it to close its doors, because the feedback has been very poor for a long period of time, and when you walk past, there's hardly
any activity.
It still makes me laugh that they have security on the door. I chuckle all the time when I walk past. It's just, there's someone who just hasn't checked the P&L since it was busy. And it's like, okay, what's this guy doing here? Exactly. Desiree, in terms of if people want to become F&B managers and they're sitting there and they're aspiring to get to it, what would be your advice? What are some of the things that they should be doing to get ahead of the game?
Become a member of the Food and Beverage Managers Association for one.
Definitely.
Because that's where you get to speak to people in your peer group, but also people that you might aspire to be. Look for a mentor. I think that is one of the greatest things that I've done from early on in my career, or had that opportunity to get great mentors, to actually learn from them, and just put the work in and enjoy every minute, because it's the best industry. It's the best department in the best industry in the world, and I still believe that.
Yeah.
F&B is exciting. Not a day is the same. For some people, that might scare them off a little bit, but it's also very exciting because you get to, really learn how to make decisions and deal with issues as they arise. But it's lovely. Just do it. Benjamin Sutton, who does this 30 and 30 questions as well, asked me to say, or 30 and 3 minutes questions as well, asked me the same question, and I cannot vouch for this industry enough.
No.
Will we ever become millionaires working in it? Probably not. But that's why you need to get some, side hustle or listen to Steve Bartlett on Diary of a CEO and how to invest your money. Yeah. But in terms of, the satisfaction you get from it, it's amazing. Making people happy every day, it's great. Yeah. The stories, oh gosh, I could write a trilogy. But
that's going to be your best-selling book.
I know.
But it's true though. It's funny. I when I was doing the presentation.
Do you remember Hotel Babylon?
Oh, I know.
Hotel Babylon. Ask me, oh, Jez, have you seen this new program? Yes, I have. Is it really like that? Yes. Not in one day, but this certainly happens over the course of 3 months minimum.
Yeah, it was when I was doing the presentation for this afternoon, and I did the slides where it was like, okay, let's show people that I've been there and done it and got the T-shirt. And I was going back through the archives of the pictures, and honestly, I was just chuckling. Every single one of those pictures has a story that just makes you laugh so much. At the time, I was probably ready to pull hair out, but I had it there.
Yeah, probably.
Now, you just look back and think, my goodness.
But you remember where it was, who you were with, who your colleagues were at the time, who probably become friends over time.
100%.
I think in this industry, you get to know so many different people from different backgrounds and nationalities. That, we could go to any country in the world probably, and you would know someone who now lives there. Yeah. And could ask them for advice on what should I be doing in your country, or
not to mention live in those countries and travel and see the world. And I always take great value in the fact that I've seen the world on
me too.
Being paid to eat and drink.
It's great.
What else would you want to do?
It's like Christmas.
Exactly. Forget all the Stephen Bartletts and these entrepreneurs. Just feed me and let me have some drink. I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Economy class. That's all right. We can deal with that. Now, Roy, you were recently in China.
Yep.
Part of a wider community, which is the thing I think which is really exciting for members and everyone else, is that there's a wider community because that whole piece around being able to move and learn from other countries and things like that is key. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that and the value that it can bring?
So we've been part of the International FBMA Managers Association now, I think 5 or 6 years now. So they involve quite a lot of Asian countries, China, Singapore, Malaysia, Cambodia, Indonesia, Korea is joining, Taiwan. Then Europe, you have Greece, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, potentially this year also the Netherlands, and India just joined as well. And basically we meet once a year, somewhere in the world. Last year, so actually there was a global meeting in Taiwan in December, which we couldn't go to. But before that, we got invited by basically the Chinese government, so to speak, to a multiple day conference to talk about how to improve hospitality in China. Because a lot of people think of China maybe still as a little bit of a communist country and not necessarily as a tourist destination, where surrounding countries like Vietnam and Thailand, etc., hordes of people go there. So that's more about what can they do differently to attract more tourists. And as an international association, we got invited to talk about that and be part of some panel discussions. And that's where you really see, first of all, the technology, how far ahead they are in terms of technology. And it's, and also, as we said before we joined the podcast, the level of people which attend these meetings and these talks. You have CEOs of global hotel companies. You have a lot of hotel general managers sitting there waiting for you to tell them basically what they want to hear or what they need to hear, compared to here if you do something, for example, at the Independent Hotel Show or. Then it's such a mixture of people. and not necessarily the people who can actually make a change.
No.
And there it's
Yeah.
all people who can make a
Level.
decision there and then say, okay, this is what we're going
Yeah.
to do different, and this is how we want to do it. So it's very interesting that side. Plus, we make a lot of connections cross country to also help our sponsors.
Yeah.
So we organized, for example, with one of our sponsors, we organized a wine tasting in China recently, in Chengdu. So we made the introduction, got the people there to our Chinese association there, so they made sure the relevant people were there. We've done trips across Europe to visit different regions, etc.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mutual benefit. We help companies from Asia who want to come to Europe. We try to help them kind of get established, like the YY group who recently came to the UK. So they're a partner for the International FBMA Managers Association. So we helped them find a country director for the UK, one for Germany. So that's now up and running. So we it's good to have those connections and again to build those networks and to see what's relevant in each country, to see how we can adapt that to the UK business sometimes, or to the UK platform, and how we can educate our members on that.
Do you know, I think you did amazing then, because we just literally had a waiter come right past us and totally put us off. So if anyone wondered why we were like peering around, that's what it was for.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I did a podcast episode the other day, it's not out yet, but on robots.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I went into this conversation thinking I was ready for a good old argy-bargy with this guy over the fact that he wanted to take out humans and go with robots. And I have to say, I was ready. It was funny, I said to someone, I was finishing the day, it was like 8 o'clock, he's in the States, and I was ready for an argy. And actually I came out of it quite curious in terms of some of the bit around how we can support some of our people with automation, and China's like the perfect example. And since we did it, I've been looking, and things like Crown Plaza, so bags go into rooms quicker, and room service, wayfinding, and things like that, where China's just so much more progressive. I think like Starbucks being delivered by drones and stuff like this, that I think there's an opportunity, isn't there, in terms of that like collaboration, where maybe we can start looking at how people are embracing in a environment where traditionally we're very slow to adopt in terms of tech.
I think a lot of people are concerned that robots are taking over the world, But if we look at it from a reality perspective, there's massive staff shortages in the UK in hotels. If you can have a robot deliver the room service to your door, then why not do it? I think Antonio, he was in Shanghai last year.
Yes.
And they had robots in his hotel to do a wake-up call or whatever, to deliver room service to his room. They're slowly coming to the UK. I haven't seen them in the hotels yet, but it's just a matter of time till somebody bites the bullet, so to speak, and puts it in.
I mean, I just think in the because we have these shortages, and there's that whole piece around kind of people being overwhelmed, staff shortages, turnover, like some stability. This is why I'm curious. I'm going to defend myself. Some stability might actually mean we can put more people in the restaurants, the bars, the lounges that can make real exciting concepts and leave some of that functional piece that we were talking about earlier to something that's going to turn up every day.
Mainly back of house as well.
Yeah, it doesn't fall in sick. You think about those big ballrooms we all used to have to clean at 2 a.m. Setting a robot off for 4 hours to do it actually is probably more productive. And take that person and put that payroll in dinner on the floor to increase service. That's where I think there's the opportunity to utilise, I think.
Absolutely. I think these days people are already more adapted to being able to check in on your phone, so you don't have to go and see somebody at reception, etc. So people are already kind of used to maybe having a more limited service on the check-in experience. But people still want to have the human interaction. Robots are never going to take over the entire
Imagine
process.
Citizen M doing this.
I
think it was the
what I had in
first.
mind,
Yes,
yeah.
I think that was one of the first hotel chains who introduced that, didn't they? They had this like small F&B self-service area,
Yeah.
and there was also the built-in check-in screen where you had to go to and check into your container room. This was like 10, 12
years ago,
years ago,
yeah.
and everybody was like, "Oh my God, well, this is not going to work." Well, look at them now;
Yeah,
they're everywhere, and it's really working well for them.
Yeah.
They still have the main F&B areas to have, more people in there.
Yeah.
But then, it's taking those decisions that can make it more.
I say that a lot of hotels now have a little lobby area, which is like a little shop where people can go buy their own stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So last question, Desiree, over to you.
Go on.
What's the future of the association? What's the plans? Where's it going? Is it going to get bigger? Over to you.
To the moon.
The future is bright. The
F&B guys
future is
are-
orange. I want to say,
You and
not because
Elon.
we're Dutch. Anyway, Elon. Yeah. No, we're kicking off with these inspirational sessions. We're kicking off with only a limited amount of people to see how they go.
Yeah.
We want to expand on them, obviously, and carry them on into next year, depending the feedback that we get. And who knows what else is on the horizon? Yeah, we keep wanting to innovate. So I think there'll be some more discussions coming on this year on how we can help the industry in doing that. Maybe picking up our mentorship program again, or I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
But these are, we want to keep it relevant, and want to keep helping people to make the best out of themselves in their roles, because we feel the need is there at the moment. Yeah.
In the past, we did a Rising Star Award, for
Yes.
example, and we haven't done that for a long time. And it's quite funny to see that people who competed at the time, where they are now, and it's amazing to see that.
And they're still members, and they don't mentor other people, which is great.
Amazing.
And they're,
Or
in
they
their
just become
companies.
director of
And that's
F&Bs for
that's
Ritz
the-
Carlton and the likes, and it's it's very interesting
That's
to
the
see
plan,
how
isn't
that. Yeah,
Also
absolutely,
makes us proud.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And every year, or normally we do a trip abroad every year to take people to a vineyard or whatever. So
People can sign up for that.
So we can sign up for that. We've done. Champagne was our first ever one.
It was our
we
first
did.
ever, yes. In 2016. I'll never forget. It was my birthday. Yeah.
No, I'm really pleased I managed to convince you to do this.
Yeah.
Because
Well, thanks for
I
having
think
us,
it's so important to raise awareness of the association, because I think more F&B guys need support. That's exactly who this goes out to. If people want to get hold of you guys to learn more or to sign up, do you want to give a few calls to action? Straight on the camera?
Yeah, sure. Well, there's our website, www.fbma-london.co.uk. There's a contact form on there which you can click. We've got our social media pages on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, so you can contact us on there. Or if you already know us, just drop us an email or a call.
Definitely.
Or, just in case you're ready to come to one of our events, you can sign up on the
website
events
as well.
page on the website, straight in there, and or book your next inspirational session.
Yeah. And
in
definitely
March.
follow Desiree and Roy on LinkedIn as well, because that's another good place to do. And if anyone wants any learning, development, and that side of things,
Give me a call.
You can give me a call. And we'll put everything in the show notes as well. So we'll put all the links for the events, for the association, for Desiree, for Roy in the show notes. So if you're watching this and you want to learn more, just head down there. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I'm really
having us.
excited for this afternoon. It's going to be
Yes.
lots of fun. On the YouTube channel later, you're going to be able to see some of this. You guys will be sharing it on your socials, because we're going to get lots of content so that you can see what it's all about, so that you can get engaged in it as well. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Thank you, Scott.
You've been listening to Hospitality Huddles, brought to you by Auden Hospitality. If you want to revisit clips from this or previous episodes, make sure you visit our YouTube channel at Auden Hospitality. Thank you for listening to the show. See you next time.